Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. I'm the king of rock, there is none higher. Sucker MCs should call me sire. Before my kingdom, you must choose fire. I won't stop rocking till I retire. Now we rocked up on it, and come correct. All sets are on time, and rhyme connect. That's the right to flow it. Good elect, and other rappers can't stand it, but give us respect. I wanna rock.
All right, it is May 12th. Different intro today, different show. We're gonna switch gears for the day, and Blake is actually out, so we threw in another honk because there's not enough white people in the world. So
Yep, right.
we got another one.
You
So-
guys all look the same.
So I guess today we're gonna switch things up a little bit. We're gonna do basically a show we do on occasion called Nerd Honks. So if you're looking for sports or any kind of, for the most part, up to date news or discussion, you're not really gonna get that this week. Today. So what you will get is a bunch of dork speak about Marvel and whatever else comes across our mind. So I didn't have much time to prepare today, but I kind of knew what we were going to talk about because last week, I think it was last week, Marvel released all of their new movie and shows. Like they outlined, okay, this is the new hotness that we're going to do. But before I do that, Kevin, I want to ask a question. Have you watched any of the new wrestling documentaries on A&E?
No, I have them saved, but
Okay.
I have not yet. You told me that they were really good.
They are really good, and I've been watching them as I work out. Like I'll only watch them when I work out to kind of help to like motivate me. Like I have to, in order for me to watch this documentary, I gotta go run for 30 minutes. So I watched all the Stone Colds, which there's a few things in there. 90% of Stone Colds, like everybody knows Stone Cold. I think the one thing that I didn't know was that they said that. So I guess the rumor always was that Owen Hart broke his neck. He didn't break his neck; he bruised his neck, so he was fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really interesting. And then they talked a lot about his time off, like when he left, and the reason why he left and came back like 6 months later or whatever the time frame was. I think it was longer than that, and then he decided to retire after that. That part was pretty interesting. I knew why he left, in terms of like not wanting to put Brock over. So it's an interesting documentary. It's always fun just to hear,
their true stories.
Yeah, because it also goes through like his WCW run, then Paul Heyman picks him up, and then next thing you know, Vince McMahon wants him pretty quickly after the fact.
Right.
So yeah, it's a good story. Today I finished the Macho Man one. Once again, most of it you kind of already know, but it is just, especially with the Miss Elizabeth stuff.
Yeah, they paint him out to be this like crazy psycho.
In parts of it, they kind of portrayed him to be really controlling in terms of Miss Elizabeth. Like they said that when they would go to an arena together, he would basically lock her in a room whenever he had to leave. So I don't know, that's pretty controlling to me. It's kidnapping. So
right.
So yeah, they talked about that, and they talked about I didn't know that she died when she was with Lex Luger.
Yeah.
They were like, I guess they were like doing drugs, and she overdosed and passed out.
Wasn't Lex the one that like found her or like called
found her and called 911. Apparently they were, doing drugs or whatever. And then they talked about how Macho Man ended up marrying, like, I guess they said like his high school sweetheart.
Really?
In the end, and they talk about how he died, like he died driving. So yeah, and it's pretty interesting. I started watching the Booker T one today too, and that one's gonna be really good. I can tell already.
That would be cool because I've never seen anything like about his story. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
get some backstory.
Yeah, they already kind of get to his backstory of where he grew up and his siblings and all that. So
Mhm.
yeah, if you haven't watched them, they're really good. I suggest, you know, even if you have kind of a sort of interest in all that, it's just it's interesting to see what happens behind the scenes.
Yeah, that
Um,
was pretty cool.
in terms of what they go through to get there and how they got there, especially the Stone Cold one, because I guess his whole, you know, how he got involved with wrestling was kind of typical, but just kind of interesting because, like, you know, he's a football player and couldn't play football anymore, so he decided to go into wrestling. Like, how many times have you heard that story?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
That's exactly what The Rock did too. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, if you haven't watched them, I suggest you watch them. They're about an hour and a half a piece.
Nice.
That's with no commercials. So,
That's a lot of treadmill work you're getting in there.
yeah. So we'll leave that be for now. Kevin, when you watch them, maybe we could talk a little bit more in depth.
Yeah, I got you. Have you watched The Young Rock yet?
No, but I heard that's a one-off, right? That's like one season and done.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and I watched the finale. It was actually really like it's your basic like sitcom almost, right?
Yeah,
And it ended up being really well put together. But yeah, the backstory is he's running for president, and he has all these stories from his childhood and growing up that connect to like questions being asked and stuff like that. So it's pretty good. I would watch it. It's really good to watch with kids too because it's like it just fits that sitcom
is it?
mantra. Yeah, yeah. Not
Do you
really
think
serious.
there's any truth to him testing the waters, and that's why this is coming out?
Could be, man.
It's like the greatest PR stunt ever.
Yeah,
Like,
anyway, yeah, just to prove. I mean,
because one of the
who else we got?
one of the premises behind the show is he's running for president,
Yeah,
right? So, like, well, I
in
mean,
2022, I think.
we've done far worse. So, when did you say 20?
I think it said in like. No, it's not 20. It's not 2022. It's
24?
2032. I think it's 2032 is the
He'll
the
run
year.
like almost 60.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I guess that portion of his movie career will be done. I mean, unless he's going to be like, what's his guy, Rambo, and old
Sylvester
geriatric.
Stallone.
You can
Stallone.
you could just see the dentures falling out of his
So-
mouth.
he has no eyebrow. He's still doing the people's eyebrow.
Right.
Right.
Like, we need you now, Rock. We need you when you're intimidating, not when you're, you know,
Jumanji 15.
that's oh no.
Yeah.
Him and Kevin Hart finally get married.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's funny.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's get to the meat potatoes, I suppose, of everything. JD, thanks for joining us.
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely.
basically, the premise of what we're going to do today is just kind of discuss one of our favorite things, and that's Marvel movies. I know a lot of people complain about the superhero movie being too much, but one of the things that I enjoy about Marvel movies is they're not typically superhero movies, right? You have, you know, your Captain America is your spy movie, and you know, and you have, I mean, they all just, you know, Thor is kind of like your fantasy, you know, weird movie, and then Guardians of the Galaxy is your, you know, your space comedy. Like, they kind of they're cut from different cloths. Like, they're not all,
Mhm.
you know, just here's the good guy to save the day. I mean, that is what they are, but you know, it's not like back in the day where you just had Superman and Batman in the 80s. It's a little bit more in depth. So I guess we'll just start off here. And man, this movie's been kind of postponed for over a year now. The new Black Widow movie.
Yeah.
Finally upon us. Almost there.
So it'll be interesting to see. Do you think that this movie will bring her back somehow?
So, I mean, from what I understand, the premise is that it's going kind of back into her history, right?
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, because they've already started messing with time, right, and traveling through time and stuff. So, it's possible.
Yeah. Well, they said
I don't think they should, but
the cornerstone of Phase 4 is Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
right.
I mean, that's where all of these shows and everything, that's where they're all going.
Based off of.
Right.
So let's see here. So basically, just a splurge how it fits into the MCU. It goes back into her training and Avengers of Ultron tie back to ideas explored in the short-lived Marvel television series Marvel's Agent Carter. Acknowledges. Let's see here. So yeah, I mean, pretty much well to what JD already said. It's going to go back to her, being a sleeper agent, much like Winter Soldier.
Right.
And apparently, from what I see of the trailer, they're going to introduce some other new heroes, like from Russia.
Mm-hmm.
The guy from Stranger Things is going to be in it.
Yeah, I saw that.
So that should be interesting. But we've been waiting a while for this one, so I feel like we probably talked about it quite a bit. The one that comes out next month, I guess, fits into the MCU is going to be the Loki.
Mm-hmm. The Loki TV series. Yep.
Yeah.
It'll follow the version of the character who escaped from custody in Endgame with a divergent copy of the Space Stone. He will also get access to time travel. Divergent timelines are a hell of a thing. This is I'm reading off of Rotten Tomatoes here. So, in the summer of 2019, Feige mentioned that the series will create repercussions that will be felt in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which may be the keystone film with both it and WandaVision feeding into it.
Yeah.
From what I gathered on the previews, like it almost looks like he's like a time cop and goes like on different missions, almost trying to stop stuff.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah. So I think like Owen Wilson. I think. It's Owen, right?
Yeah.
But I think like he runs some kind of organization or whatever. He's like, yeah, we've been following you. We see what you're doing with and being able to kind of jump between these realities, but we're gonna use you to help us make sure that all of that doesn't unravel existence, basically, or whatever the case may be. So that'll be interesting. Is it Sword that he works for? I can't remember the name of that. Because I know they talk about Sword, but I can't remember. I think this might be a different group, but
I think it is Sword. Let me see.
Yeah, is he a Sword agent? But wouldn't he have been in I don't know, we're putting everything together. Wasn't Sword the group that was in WandaVision?
Mm-hmm.
Then wouldn't he have been on the somewhere in there? I guess
potentially. I think he might be part of another organization. Now that I think about it, I just can't remember. It's either Sword or it's this other thing. He's not part of the Shield something or other. There's more
I would think if he was in Sword, they would probably show him in the building or something like that. At least one episode.
Easter egg him.
Time Variance Authority.
There you go.
The time what?
Time Variance Authority.
TVA. Not TNA.
That exists outside of time and space and monitors the timeline. It's kind of like that one show. What was that show that's on Netflix with the superheroes and these guys zip in and out of time to try to stop them? Gosh, it's a really popular show on Netflix. See here. Netflix superhero show. No, not The Flash. It's basically a group of people that are in a school, and this guy scooped up all these people together, and they all have weird powers. Each one of them has a weird power, and one of them.
Oh, Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So, it kind of almost gets that feel like you're going to be
Captain Planet. With our powers combined.
So you said it quote unquote exists out of time and space. This TVA or whatever. Is that what it's saying?
That's per Wikipedia.
That's interesting because that the only thing that I can think of that exists out of time and space in the MCU would be something like The Watcher.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they haven't really gotten into any of that, but I know they're going to be doing the What If series at some point. So I don't know. That's just interesting that they would, and then Eternals and all that stuff is coming too. So man, the scope of all of this stuff is just ridiculous.
It's a lot.
It's infinite. Yeah, it's infinite.
But yeah, that Loki show is gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited for that one.
Have you guys watched any of the Bad Batch show?
I've watched both episodes.
Yeah, we
I was
said
gonna ask you guys about that if you didn't bring it up.
it's.
I'm curious.
Have you watched it, JD?
I haven't yet. No, I'm going to.
It's
when
okay.
when we get back home, I'm gonna watch it.
It's okay so far. It's
It's a lot of build up right now, wouldn't you say,
there's
Richard?
a lot of build up. Yeah,
It's slow and a lot of build up. Like I
you have
will
to
say.
have. So you don't need to have watched Clone Wars, but I feel like if you did, you'd probably have a little bit more invested because
Yeah, you can put a lot more together.
it takes place right when they execute Order 66. Like that's like one of the first things that happened on the first episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah.
execute Order 66, and then it goes from there. And the premise of the show is the Bad Batch is basically a batch of clones that are defective.
Like the Misfit toys, but like better, right?
So, and so in the show, you kind of see what makes them. I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, it kind of makes, it shows you, what happened with them and why they're, technically, they're called the Bad Batch and everything. And just, it's interesting. It's a good show so far. It didn't have, I guess maybe after Mandalorian, it's like, it's hard to, because, the first episode of Mandalorian was like, oh, there's Baby Yoda. Like, what is that? Like, really hard to top that.
Yeah.
Right.
And I feel like so far in this show, and correct me if I'm wrong, Kevin, other than your staple of like Palpatine, and maybe one other person, like there's really nobody that you know of.
And I think you're saying the same thing that I am, and it's like the big thing, like right now, there's not a main Force user, right?
Right.
Right. So that's the most significant thing right now. Like 'cause even with the Mandalorian, like Baby Yoda kind of carried that, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I think. That's what has my disconnect in it for right now. But it's also interesting because it almost feels like you're on the other side of the world while all this stuff is going on, and you're seeing what these people thought of it. So because the same stuff is happening, but you're on the other side of the world seeing these other stories that were happening throughout that you didn't get to see during the Clone Wars, basically.
Right.
Yeah. It's I'm interested to see where they take it.
Me too. I wonder, like, what's the plan? Is it one season? Is it scheduled for a couple seasons, or is this it? Like that's what I want to see.
I don't know, man. I kind of get the feeling this is kind of a suicide group.
Yeah,
like Rogue One type show,
Yeah.
Although I guess they're making a show after one of those characters, so I don't know. I guess.
But I did hear that it'll get you to the point where, like, I think you're going to learn a lot more about, like, Palpatine and how he was actually testing and using science to make clones. I think that's what you're gonna see, to make other Force users. And I think they're trying to connect this little scrunchy of it with the Last Jedi kind of stuff that's in there. So that's what I'm kind of feeling. I just got some clues on there. I just don't want to ruin it.
Are they dropping episodes on Wednesdays for that one?
So I started watching it Friday. Yeah, they are dropping it Wednesday. So I guess I was too
today.
Yeah. I guess I was too behind because I watched them both on. I watched them both on Monday. Yeah. My bad.
Yeah. Jacob and I watched it on Sunday. So
yeah.
I look forward to watching it. We'll just see where the story goes. I'm not wowed by it yet, but I mean, I don't know.
Right.
There.
I will say, first episode's an hour and a half.
Oh,
Second
yeah.
episode is an hour.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's not like your Clone Wars that was 25 minutes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's why I didn't jump in and just watch them. So it's a little dedication.
Yep. Jacob and I blocked off an afternoon to watch it. So
yeah.
Moving on here. So Marvel created a new character, Shang-Chi. I think the comic book was released last year.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't read any of it. Have you guys?
No.
Read? I have
know nothing about it.
this is all brand new to me, but it looks like by the previews, it looks really, really, really cool.
Yeah, it looks like it's kind of like what I was saying earlier. Like it's their kung fu flick.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a Jackie Chan movie. With
Yeah.
a little bit of comedy because they got your girl in there. What's her name?
I don't know that I've
She's
seen
been
it.
in a lot of Disney movies here lately and some comedy movies. What's her name? She wears the glasses. She's a comedian.
Yeah.
Thor?
What is it?
Is it the girl that's in Thor?
No,
No,
she's
no.
an Asian American comedian.
She's
She
in that
was
one
just in.
that wedding movie with my Asian wedding and what else is he in?
I'm gonna pull it up. I have a list here.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Starring,
think.
is it Aquafina?
Yep.
Okay.
That's who it is.
I almost could
Yeah.
not. Like I had to literally phonetically sound that out in my head. Mentally,
You never heard of her? She's been in a lot of movies lately.
when I seen it, I freaked out. I was like,
That
how do I say that?
Right.
that's
I'm about to
see, that's
list
not
this
who
all.
I was thinking it was. I was thinking of somebody else entirely. But yeah, she has been in a lot.
Yeah, a lot of comedy movies, but it looks really cool. And I mean, I feel like we haven't had like a kung fu martial arts flick type show in a while. To be honest with you, that's
Yeah.
been really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of attempted it with Iron Fist,
Mhm.
but yeah, I think I'm one of the few people that actually like that show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you are.
It was all right. I had some issues with it, but I think this one looks way more, I don't know, true to form. I think of like an actual kung fu movie. You know.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can get like a synopsis of it anywhere here.
Well, it's about 10 rings,
Yep. We don't know what the
And-
10 rings tonight, too,
20
but
film.
and that's it. He's got one for each finger, and then he's going to use it to punch people.
yeah.
There's
bling
like-
bling.
Right. He needs to get blinged out so he can hit people. That's it.
That's awesome.
He's going from one pawn shop to the next, and
Oh, I guess this isn't as new as I thought it was. The director of the film, based on Marvel's 1970 comic book, The
Really?
Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu. In the comics,
Oh.
Shang-Chi was the son of legendary literary villain Fu Manchu. Learning the truth of dad's businesses, he used his martial arts against his father and any other Marvel baddies ready to battle with his mighty hands.
now wasn't. Correct me if I'm wrong. Fu Manchu wasn't. Ah, man, I'm so off. I know I'm not right. There's a dragon kind of villain in the Marvel universe, right?
The Iron Fist character.
No, that's Feng Shui or whatever.
Let me pull it up here.
So I'm thinking somebody else. Again, I'm crossing my. Man, that's bad. I'm
Crossing
crossing
your
my
comments.
Asian American. My
There you
Asian
go.
American stereotypes. That's not good. That's not a good look.
Fuck, that's feng shui.
Xiao Lao. When Danny Rand was becoming the next Iron Fist, he defeated Xiao Lao by burning the dragon-shaped tattoo off his chest.
Right. No, there's like a villain that's actually like a Chinese dragon, not like a metaphorical one, but like a literal one.
Yeah,
You're talking about Dragon Ball Z? Is that what you're crossing with?
I think it's like FEUNGSHE, maybe. I don't know. I don't know who it is, but
Fin Fang Foom.
Fing Fang Foom. That's what it was. Yes. That's who it was. That's the actual dragon, which is weird.
So here's a little snippet. Fu Manchu is one of the few IPs not owned by Walt Disney.
Mm.
Interesting.
It may turn out to be the real. So there's a theory that his father may be the actual real Mandalorian in the MCU. Is how they may do that then, because the Mandalorian was
You mean the Mandarin?
sorry Mandarin.
And
Right.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
They're gonna do a Marvel Star Wars crossover?
That'd be epic.
Dude.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but the Jedi's would be destroyed. Like no chance. But yeah, that would be interesting because I do know that people had a lot of issues with the Mandarin from what is it, Iron Man 2?
Yeah, it's just
Iron Man 3.
he ended up being like fake, like
Yeah.
actor.
They didn't appreciate his kind of role, like felt like it was like minimal to them too, like true fans.
Right.
Like, I feel like
Yeah, the Mandarin's a big deal.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
to kind of throw it away like that. So
Right.
I hope that'll be something that they do.
So
Over.
the Ten Rings is a crime league embedded across the world, but owing allegiance to no country. The group gives Shang-Chi a nice international opponent with, an established MCU footprint. Yeah. The Ten Rings the Mandarin wears have cosmic origins, which may play into the larger Phase 4 story.
Interesting.
So, and to be honest, we hope he uses them to conjure up legendary Marvel Comics creature in Fang Foom.
Yeah.
Nice. There it is. There it is.
Yeah, that one I'm pretty interested about. That one comes out September. Man, these are coming out.
Yeah.
They're coming out hot. That's
Rapid
what I'm saying.
fire.
If you don't like, that's what I was talking to my daughter about. Like, I feel like if we don't catch up, you're just gonna be behind.
Yeah, it was like Loki's in June.
Mm-hmm.
Black Widow is in July, and then September is Shang-Chi, and then Eternals is in November.
Yeah.
Content.
So, yeah, the Eternals is next. Just trying to read a quick blurb here. I don't know much about these group. It almost feels like it might kind of be almost a Guardians of the Galaxy-ish type thing. Let's see here. Based on development.
I mean, they've kind of already shown them, and specifically in the Guardians of the Galaxy when they were the first one.
Weren't they the ones? Yeah, weren't they the ones they kind of said they were like building stuff, like showed like a vision of them like building stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the Infinity Stones were used by them originally to just destroy worlds or whatever. Yeah.
The Eternals are a race of fantastically powerful proto-humans engineered by the Celestials to harness vast amounts of cosmic energy. Generations of infighting and wars against another celestial experiment, the Deviants, followed. The film will center on an Eternal named Cersei, played by Gemma Chan, with the power of flight, strength, immortality, and molecular manipulation. Confirmed cast members include Richard Madden as Icarus. Is it Kumail?
Kumail Nanjiani.
Yep, as Kingo. Lauren Ridloff as Makari. Brian Tyree Henry as Phastos, and Selma Hayek as Ajax.
Yep.
Leah McHugh as Sprite, Don Lee as Gilgamesh, Angelina Jolie as Thana.
Sorry, Angelina Jolie's. Yeah, Angelina's already been confirmed for it as well. Like they're getting big names, man. Like it's weird.
They are, and I think it's just the popularity.
Yeah, they also said Kit Harington will be Dane Whitman, aka Black Knight.
Yeah, Black Knight's pretty cool.
The film will feature Marvel's first real attempt at including gay characters, as Henry's Phastos will reportedly be married to a man and raising a child alongside him. So yeah.
But that's going to be a film. That's not a series, correct?
This is a movie. Yeah.
Okay, that's a movie.
The Celestials are some of the oldest creatures in the universe. They run into just about everyone. When the Kree happened to learn about the Eternals, they tried duplicating the Celestial experiment and created Inhumans on Earth. In Marvel's 616 universe, Thanos is himself related to the Eternals, thanks to their colonization of Titan in the distant past. Meanwhile, the Celestials have already appeared in passing during both Guardian films. In the first film, one appears in a hologram during the Collector's explanation of the Power Stone. In the second film, Peter Quill's father, Ego, self-identified as Celestial. Whether or not this means Xeron, the Tester, will feature in the Eternals or any other MCU film remains to be seen.
Yeah. I think it'd be interesting to really kind of expand out, and that's going to start kind of unlocking like some of the super powerful characters out there. You know
Yeah,
what I
because
mean?
there's
Like,
bigger and bigger ranks. Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Um.
So that begs the question, and I'm guessing here, but like the Fantastic Four and all that, that's not considered canon in the MCU, correct? That's
No.
already existed. Okay. So that leads to like there's Silver Surfer, there's Galactus, like all of these
And that's the stuff that I
massive
want to see.
powerhouses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the technology that we have, like they can make a good Galactus right now.
Oh yeah.
I think we've been hindered by technology, but like that's who I want to see. And there's more powerful characters than him. That's
Oh yeah.
like yeah. So it's
Absolutely.
gonna get deep.
Let's see here. Still in 2021, December.
Did you guys see the preview for Venom?
I did.
Yes.
Let there be kind of oh my! Like I watched it this morning, 5 in the morning.
Mhm.
They picked the perfect Carnage. They picked the perfect bad guy for this.
Yep.
Mhm.
Perfect. Like I'm just hoping it's gonna be as good as I want it to be.
I wonder if
Well,
they'll tie that into the MCU though. Like I wonder if
Right. Well, because like yeah, I think he's starting to kind of like pull back some of his like natural born killers kind of psychoticness.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be great.
Woody Harrelson is gonna be a great Carnage. Great Carnage.
Well, I want to go back to something real quick and just kind of go off a little sidebar too, like because we were talking about how quickly all these things are going to be coming out, and I know how before we've had that conversation of like, okay, is this going to kind of oversaturate the market with like superhero this, superhero that, like, and that was when there was a year or so between debuts,
Each one.
like
Yeah.
But now it's going to be like, okay, every month there's going to be something else coming out. Do you think that will oversaturate and make people tired of it too, or not? Like, 'cause I know people. I know for me, I'm like, no, bring it on. Like, I want to keep seeing it. But
I think right now we're at a place where we just want it. Like a lot of people, talking about going back to the movies. People are talking about going back to concerts. We basically have gone like almost a year and a half now without any Marvel movie. So this is kind of catching up. I see them like busting all this out real quick and then going back to their 3 a year, maybe 4 a year, because once you start throwing in the TV shows, there's no reason for them to do more than 3 or 4 movies a year at this point in time.
Right.
So I guess, I don't think you'll have that. Honestly, you'll have some people, of course, but I think for the most part.
Right. I think that like it was COVID year, so we're catching up from that. Like I think you would be here. I think you would be at this point anyway. Like when it's all said and done, when they catch up, I think that's what you would have gotten anyway once 2021, 2022 starts. I just feel like people want it, but I do agree with you though, JD. Like those coming out in moderation, maybe just want it more. And like I feel like the build-ups were so big that people were like, I gotta go see this.
Right.
So
yeah, it'll be interesting. Like, because I know like fans, like the quote unquote fanboys, they'll be there anyway, just because, right? Like they could bring a new one out each week and they would be there. But I don't think I'm curious to see the kind of numbers that they do in box office as opposed to what the ones that were months in between would do. I'm just kind of curious to see how that plays out in the market.
I also wonder how that's going to work at the movie theater, because you can't have as many people in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many screens are they going to be playing this movie, and how many times are they going to be playing this movie? How much earlier are they going to open up and play this movie all day? So, like, we got to keep that in consideration also.
And how many theaters are there going to be open? Period.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them shut down. But yeah, it'll be interesting. So sorry,
and that's
I just wanted to kind of go off a little bit.
And that's what my thing right now is like. I don't want to see Black Widow like even at the drive-in. Like I want to see it at a movie theater with the sound perfect. Like it's gonna be like the movies that have came out on HBO Max. Yeah, that's cool, but like I didn't see it in a movie theater. It's not the same seeing those movies at home. Like I like the convenience of it, but like it's that feel. Like you're going out, you're doing something, you're gonna watch this big event, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Like
it's
it's
funny. Dave and I were actually talking about going to go see Spiral. The Saw movie comes out Friday, and
Right.
like we literally had to figure out what movie theater is still open.
Right.
We had to look around because the one up in Hamilton's closed. The one next to his
Which-
house is closed.
which is a bummer because the one in Hamilton Town Center is literally 3 minutes from our house.
Yeah,
Like
It
I
was
can get
always-
door to door in 3 minutes.
I'd go to that one just because of the IMAX, and
Mhm.
they always had the early releases of movies too.
Yep.
So that'd be one I would go to that one, even though it was a good haul to get up there for me. But
Absolutely.
I think some of these places will come back though. You'll see. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, there was an article. I don't know the specifics, but some theater company has already bought and is going to be reopening the Hamilton, the IMAX,
okay.
and all that.
Oh,
So,
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good to hear.
Because what else are you going to use those buildings for?
Yeah, at this
You know what
point,
I mean? Like,
yeah,
Right.
it's already
like,
got to be set up. I mean,
yeah, the renovation alone would be not worth it. So
yeah,
And I noticed that over the past summer and fall because, like, I feel like that's all we did was go to drive-in movies, and we're just going to go see old movies. And like, drive-in's always popular by me because it's like one of the only ones. But I'm just like people could make a lot of money if they just had some land and made a parking lot and put a couple screens up. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like they were doing comedy shows and all that stuff there, and I was just amazed by that. Like people just want something to do more than anything.
right.
Yeah.
People love that field.
Yep. Well, I appreciate you guys going off on this little tangent with me.
Oh,
I
no.
was just like, I'm interested because it'll be interesting to see how that plays out for
I
sure.
think it's good enough that it's been long enough that people will be okay, at least for maybe for this year.
Right.
Because a lot of what's coming out this year was supposed to come out last year. So
Right. It's just been postponed.
Yeah.
But I mean, I miss that every Christmas going to see a movie. That's our thing.
Yeah.
Like, I need that back. Go see a movie on Christmas Day.
Yep.
So,
yeah, I think for the past few years it's been a Star Wars movie of some sort.
yep, Star Wars or Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Or Marvel.
Yeah,
In there. Yeah.
Pushing stuff out at Christmas too.
Yeah.
And in 2020 we had Wonder Woman 1984.
There you go.
Uh,
which I was still excited for because it was something, and I got it
I
for
was
free.
True. Fair enough.
I was looking forward to it, and then it was just like, oh man, this is not what I thought it would be.
Right.
So we'll go just a little bit further here. In December 17th is Spider-Man No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
So after a tense 2019 summer in which it seems Spider-Man would blip out of the MCU to face against Venom, Sony Pictures and Walt Disney agreed to produce a third film with Tom Holland as Spider-Man. While the fine details of the studio's new agreement are not known beyond Disney reportedly increasing its share of the profits to 25%, we know that Spider-Man will appear in one additional MCU outside of his third solo film. But in another twist of fate, his current troubles will be acknowledged in Sony's upcoming Morbius, a film set in the Spider-Verse and completely separate from the MCU. Or is it? Initially slated for a July 2021 release, the third Marvel Spider-Man film played release calendar roulette until finally landing in December. So,
is Morbius a Sony film? I think I've listened to something about this earlier.
It's a Spider-Man character, so I would assume.
Yeah, but it's going to be Sony exclusive, right? It's not going to be Marvel Disney.
Yeah,
okay.
Sony movie. So 2020, Benedict Cumberbatch joined the cast, though it said that he's going to be more of an Iron Man type character, which I guess would make sense with how things left off.
Right.
In Endgame,
becoming a mentor kind of thing.
So here's where things got interesting. I think we've talked about this. The addition of Jamie Foxx, who will once again play Electro.
Mm-hmm.
So also there's rumors stating that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are in talks to appear. And Alfred Molina, who was Doc Ock, was spotted on the set.
I think Doc Ock has been confirmed now at this point.
Yeah,
hasn't
I
he?
think he has been confirmed.
I think
from
he
what I-
spoiled something and Disney's super shitty with him. I didn't read what the spoil was, but I guess in an interview he said something and Disney got super shitty with him. I read a headline that said, and I didn't click on it because I was like, oh, I'm not going to read that.
Right.
There's also a rumor that Daredevil shows up in it, and it's played by Charlie Cox, who was the Netflix Daredevil. There have been rumors for a while now that Marvel was just going to wait for their Netflix deals to run out, and then they were going to put them in to the MCU somehow. Which at this point in time, I think they could certainly use them, especially for television show.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
They don't necessarily have to be just in the movies. You could, because I feel like almost all those shows left off on a cliffhanger of some sort.
Well, I mean, there's so much milk still left in that cow. Like, are you kidding me? Like, all those shows, man. Like, those characters, those storylines, there's still so much to do.
Yeah, it is. And I kind of, man, like, just hearing the characters, right? Like, I'm only thinking of, like, two different things. Like, maybe, like, a Sinister Six, or, like, wasn't in the Maximum Carnage series, didn't a lot of those characters kind of come out when Carnage was, doing this thing? Like, he got a lot of help. Spider-Man got a lot of help from some people, and then there was also some other villains floating around, right?
Right.
So
yeah.
So that makes it interesting for me. Like, I think it's like Doppelganger and Shriek, and like some of those other villains were floating around. So like I wonder if they're trying to tie it with Venom and Carnage, or are they just doing the Sinister Six, right?
Yeah, I think the Sinister Six would be interesting because Electro is one of them, right?
Electro. They already got Vulture in there, and they've already shown Scorpion.
Yeah, it wasn't Donald Glover. Donald Glover was somebody, wasn't he?
So he voiced somebody in Into the Spider-Verse, but not Prowler.
Yeah, that might be what I'm thinking about. It was something to do with a car. He was in that the one with Vulture, the movie with Vulture.
Yeah, he was just like a
yeah,
that's
right. Yeah. I think and I think there's talk. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, I was thinking he did a voice for Into the Spider-Verse, but no, he's wanting to be Prowler. I think. Yeah. Which would be interesting.
Yeah.
And I remember the guy from Breaking Bad talking to Vulture at the end. I forget what character he was.
I think Scorpion. I think.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, I'm thinking more Sinister Six type, but
yeah, that would be interesting. It'd be interesting how they pull it off with the other characters if somehow the Multiverse of Madness or some sort of multiverse open, because Spider-Man's big on the multiverse stuff, right? I mean, and just there's numerous stories. With I think with Gwen Stacy, the Spider-Gwen, of course Miles Morales, you can't forget him. All these Spider-Men are from different universes, so I guess we'll see what happens.
And I mean, isn't there a storyline about that in comics too, where all these multiple Spider-Men?
So that's what I'm saying. At Spider Island, that's kind of
Spider Island,
and actually in the comic books, Miles is actually in the official universe now.
Right.
He got pulled in, and so like now you have Spider-Man, which is Miles, and Amazing Spider-Man is Peter. So I haven't kept up with it really, but that's last I read was that's what's going on.
Yeah.
So then we have the What If series, which I don't know if that's officially going to tie into the MCU. So basically the blurb says it will introduce each episode from a standpoint of established MCU history. It suggests he will consider the events of the films and live action television series as the proper flow of time. And considering his importance to Fantastic Four history, we'd be astonished if the Watcher fails to make a cameo when that title becomes Marvel film fodder.
Because if I'm correct, I don't think that'll tie into MCU that much at all as far as like canon and stuff like that, because the whole idea of the What If comic series
Yeah.
was stuff that's like that's
It's
not a
never
thing, but what if?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the first episode will ask, what if Peggy Carter took the super soldier serum instead of Steve?
Hmm.
It will feature Haley Atwell as a super strong Agent Carter, and presumably the voice of Chris Evans as a 98-pound Steve, who becomes the first Iron Man thanks to Howard Stark.
Interesting.
Then another episode will feature the voice of Chadwick Boseman. I guess he's
Oh wow.
an episode asking, what if T'Challa becomes Star-Lord? Tying the series together will be Jeffrey Wright as Uata the Watcher, the host of What If comic books.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll watch.
Yeah, and one of my favorite ones from the comics was what if Spider-Man, or what if Peter Parker became Punisher?
Oh.
So it was the Punisher, but with Spider-Man's powers.
Oh,
It was epic. It was brutal. It was really cool.
Well, do you remember in I don't know if you read Superior Spider-Man when Doc Ock took over Spider-Man and he punched off Scorpion's jaw, and he was like, and in the caption was like, that son of a bitch has been holding his punches back this entire time.
Oh yeah, he's stupid powerful.
Yeah, as we've seen in Civil War, right? When he basically beat the crap out of Bucky and Winter Soldier, or Winter Soldier and Falcon at the same time.
At the same time, it was like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah, and his response was, "This is fun."
Didn't even break a sweat, man. Laughing the whole time.
I think next is the Hawkeye series. Hawkeye was Jeremy Renner helped train the newbie Kate Bishop, a fan favorite comic with Young Avengers and Hawkeye.
Is that a show or a movie?
It's a show.
Okay.
It's a show. Like, it's weird, man. Like, I like the idea. I like Hawkeye as a character. I'm the least interested and the least excited for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I kind of agree with you. At the same time, we have to look at it like these people can't play these characters forever.
Yeah.
True.
True. But we can also look at it like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
like
right.
Those were the Falcon was like the least appealing character to me, and like it added some substance to his character. So maybe that's how Hawkeye will transition.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Hawkeye like in the comics, or maybe it's a certain universe or whatever, but he's like deaf, right?
I do believe he originally came out as deaf.
Okay, which is interesting.
Yeah, so. I think they may have I think at one point in time, if it's not right now, but at one point in time they redid that, deaf again. So yeah.
So I just remember seeing a still or two, like a frame or two from a comic where Deadpool pulled up his mask to like over his mouth so he could like talk, and Hawkeye could read his lips, and then he signed some stuff to him.
Yeah,
I was like, that's pretty interesting, but that's neither here nor there. But
so next up is Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan.
I think that'll be cool.
This will be a TV series. So I don't know much about Miss Marvel other than the fact that she's like a huge Avenger fan that ends up herself becoming an Avenger through mishaps. So the series will feature some Inhumans beside Kamala, suggesting Marvel Studios will attempt to revive the concept after Marvel Television's Inhumans seemingly poisoned the well. Yes, it did.
Yeah, it did. I tried to watch that. I tried to start watching that like 4 or 5 times. No joke.
Terrible, dude. Like there's.
I couldn't. I couldn't do it.
It was like watching Doctor Who. Like it wasn't good. Like it was like, I know this is supposed to be good, but it's not.
Well, when does it get good?
Right.
What, the Inhuman? Oh yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, you're like, when does it get good? Okay, now.
Yeah, because that's what I've done with Doctor Who. I'm like, I've watched Doctor Who, and I'm like, what? I don't.
I can understand. I can understand people not understanding and not getting Doctor Who. I dig it.
Oh, I get
But-
Doctor Who. I mean, I've watched Doctor Who since I
Yeah.
was a kid. I just don't like it.
Right. But yeah, with Inhumans, I was like, no, dude, I can't. Like, there's what? Like, it was really bad.
It was-
really bad.
Really bad. Yeah. It's like bad CGI. And I think that's more like what I'm talking about with Doctor Who. It's like just terrible. It was like terrible
Oh yeah.
effects, and the acting was really bad. It's like, okay.
That's hilarious.
Are you talking the old ones or the new ones? I know we're off topic again, but are you
With
talking about
Doctor
the
Who?
like
Dude,
yeah,
it's
the
been
original ones?
probably been, I want to say 10 years since I even tried watching a Doctor Who.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. I tried watching it once and I was like, oh, this is terrible. Like, I don't even,
You're like, I'm good.
I'm done. This is so much better things to do.
That's funny.
Um,
That's funny.
All right, March 2022. We're about to wrap up here in we got about 9 minutes. So, Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness.
We got we still got some time.
So,
Dude, that's gonna be epic.
it will follow up on ideas from WandaVision, Loki, and the third Spider-Man film. It may even reveal the real threat hiding in the multiverse. In addition of America Chavez, all but confirms reality hopping will matter greatly in the coming years. The ability is a key part of her skill set.
Wait. So America Chavez is in like Captain America, the female version?
Let me look here. Be sure, because I don't want to give you
Fact check.
Miss America. Yep.
Interesting. Yeah, dude, like that Multiverse of Madness is gonna be incredible.
Yeah.
Like the first one was great.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah, it was.
Like, so yeah, that's
So we'll just kind of a blurb here. I know we've talked about this one to death, so I didn't want to kind of keep hitting it. But Scarlet is called the first scary MCU movie, though some believe Marvel's unease with that mission statement led to his departure. Oh, this is Sam Raimi's.
oh yeah.
Sam Raimi was going to try to make it super scary. So
Well, I mean, which it would make sense. Like you're
wait.
dealing with like
Yeah.
demons and
Right.
yeah.
Scott Derrickson was the original director, and then Sam Raimi replaced him.
Oh.
Raimi's bona fides as a horror director suggest the film may still have some scares, but the script is being reworked by Loki head writer Michael Waldron and may yet conform to the Marvel house style. As teased at the end of the first film, Mordo will return, as will Rachel McAdams and Benedict Wong. The film, which is still a ways from beginning production, is now set for release in March 2022, following multiple changes to Marvel Studios' schedule. So Feig also confirmed, I can't say this name, Xochitl, Zokitl? I can't say it.
Yeah.
Something Gomez will play Young Avengers favorite America Chavez.
Interesting. That'd be cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll be interesting. We've talked about this one a lot. So we'll move along to Thor: Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder.
Does I'm curious because it's almost taking the last one and kind of just doubling down on it.
On
that
the
last Thor movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is fine. It's going to be a little bit more tongue in cheek, I think. So I'm okay with that. But yeah.
So
Hey, is this the one where they introduced the God Butcher?
Yes.
Nice.
that's
That'd be
different.
cool because I'd recently read the story about that. So that will be cool to see how the film depicts it. But
Well, and it's all because the God Butcher is part of like I'm trying to remember symbiote, right?
yeah, so it all plays
Yeah.
into that. But yeah,
So-
and from the comics, it looked like it skipped through time. So on that story, so I can see how it plays into the multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna have Chris Hemsworth will be returning as the Wandering Odin's son, but not as Thor. In a surprise move, Marvel revealed Natalie Portman is returning to the series as Thor.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically the Thor comic book. Meanwhile, Tessa Thompson will return as Valkyrie, the new king of Asgard, who must find a queen. And we assume Loki in either of his manifestations will return as well. In 2020, it was said that Christian Bale emerged as a potential new member of the cast, and Marvel confirmed he will play the main antagonist, Gore the God Butcher.
Mm-hmm.
February that year, someone great filmmaker Jennifer Caton Robinson reportedly joined Waititi as a co-writer. That March, Vin Diesel also revealed that Guardians of the Galaxy will make some sort of appearance, which we've always assumed. And the addition of Chris Pratt to the cast, announced in November 2020, confirmed the Guardians will be there. Productions began early 2021, with all manner of Guardians characters reportedly spotted on the set, and Jamie Alexander said to be returning as Lady Sif, who must have been away from Asgard during the events of Ragnarok. In April of 2021, Russell Crowe seemingly also confirmed he is playing the Olympian god Zeus.
Interesting. Like Marvel's able to pull anybody they want at this point.
I mean,
Anybody.
at the same time, look, you're going to be in a movie that's $1 billion. You might as well just be like, all right, I'll be in a billion movie. Sure.
There's so many
Absolutely.
characters to play though too. Like that's what I was saying earlier. It's infinite. It's crazy.
Absolutely. Yeah, we can pull anybody we want because we have enough characters for everybody there is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So, quick blurb. Phase 5 and beyond. They confirmed the She-Hulk series.
Interesting.
It's
going to be like Ally McBeal.
She is a lawyer.
Yeah, Rich did not look okay with that for a second.
It's a television series, so I could just not watch it.
That's funny.
I'm sure I'll watch it.
Right.
Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Oh man,
Yeah,
I might cry the whole movie.
Right.
I'm interested in that just to see what they do.
Yeah, because it's like, are they really just gonna dump the Black Panther character?
Well, I think they're gonna throw it over to Shuri, right?
That would make sense, I guess. But maybe. Yeah, I guess that this is kind of Florm will detail the succession of Shuri to the throne and her attempts to become Black Panther.
Right.
So I guess that's fine. I get whatever. It just, the whole thing is weird,
and it's weird because that's another character that I didn't think would be big, but I think that it got big because of culture and all that stuff, and that's out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden he's taken away from us, and it's like, what are you doing? Right?
Yeah, it's gonna be weird regardless, just because of who he was, and he's gone. So it's gonna be odd. Right. Yeah.
So I wonder how they're gonna pull that off. Is he gonna die in the movies, or because she's gonna take the throne, but what's gonna cause that, I guess, is one of my
right.
I don't know. So yeah,
because was he part of the snap?
He was, and then he came back. Yeah.
Right, and he would have come back.
Right.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough.
The Marvels.
And the Marvels kind of like the Incredibles a little bit.
Well, I think it's gonna be Miss Marvel. Blurb here. Brie Larson will return as Carol. Probably they said you could probably expect Samuel L. Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn to return as Fury and Talos. See here, expected Master Day, blah blah blah. Yeah, it doesn't really give any other information. I would assume it'll also be Miss Marvel, right? I would assume, since it's called Marvels,
right?
Captain and Miss Marvel,
right? And I would guess probably Photon would be in there too.
Yeah,
since she's kind of been introduced in WandaVision.
Right.
Okay, yeah, here it is with Miss Marvel. and Paris's grown-up Monica Rambeau. Okay, so from
Yeah,
WandaVision,
yeah.
joining Carol on the adventure. Okay, so it's going to be cool. Yeah,
Yeah, kind of space ladies.
yeah. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantum Mania. This one
Yeah.
set for 2023. See, we only have. See, we are back to 1-2 movie in 2022.
There we go.
Yeah,
Marvel and Black Panther, and then Ant-Man and Wasp is 2023. So
Cool.
we are back already to.
Spreading it
it's just
out
a
a little
catch
bit.
up. Yeah,
Yep.
Yep.
So yeah, not much is known about this. So we'll move on. So to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which I don't think they're even done writing that one. The only thing I've heard about this one is Drax saying this is going to be his last movie. The guy that plays Drax, I should say, Dave Bautista, said this.
Yeah.
He said he'll be like 54. He's like, I think I'm done.
that
Right.
is true. But this is probably the most money he's made in anything.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I read an interview where he said when he got the part, like he just sat there and cried.
Yeah,
Right. He's set because he's set. He's
Oh
done.
yeah,
yeah.
let's see here. Okay, so Gunn confirmed the film will take place after Endgame. It'll be blah, blah, blah. So nothing else is really known about it.
I wonder if Thor will be tied into that.
I would assume.
I would
Yeah.
I would think probably, yeah.
It doesn't really say. Phase 3, Quill, Gamora, Rocket. Oh. Okay, so maybe he won't be in here. Rocket continues to get over the absent Odin's son. So that tells me Thor may not be there.
Mm-hmm.
There's also the often delayed debut of Adam Warlock.
That was what I was going to say. I was like, when is he coming into the picture? Because he's part of the Guardians for sure.
He is probably one of the strongest characters in Marvel.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they kind of already
stupid powerful.
Because he came to them as a baby, right? They took care of him for
Something
a while.
like that, yeah.
Grew pretty quick. Yeah. Fantastic Four. They're guessing mid 2023, so nothing's known about it at all.
Does it say you have a cast yet?
Not that I've seen.
Yeah, I'm not reading anything here about a cast yet. Blade. Is that
Mahershala Ali?
Yeah, announcing Ali will be the MCU's version of Blade.
That'd be cool.
Will appear in
that would be dope.
In Phase 5, but they haven't really. Nothing else is really here.
He played a good bad guy in Luke Cage.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that was awesome.
Was he King Cobra? Some sort of snake?
It's some kind of snake. Copperhead, right?
Cottonmouth.
Cottonmouth.
There you go.
Yeah. Copperhead was the other dude that fought him at the end.
So they got former Bob Burgers writers Lizzie Molyneux, Laughlin, and Wendy Molyneux are scripting the third film. We think the film will serve as an introduction to the X-Men in a roundabout way.
Wait, third film for what?
Deadpool.
Oh, Deadpool 3. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Considering Deadpool's fourth wall breaking abilities and how they could be used to make him the only person cognizant that a fundamental change occurred in the universe.
I like it. I like it a lot. Use him as a tool for introduction.
Yeah. Feig admitted early in 2021 that the film is in development and will be R-rated, but production will not begin until next year.
Right. That'll be great. That's going to be great no matter what.
Let's see here. Captain America 4, which I think, what's his name, already pretty much all said it's probably going to happen. The guy that plays Falcon.
Yeah.
And then Moon Knight.
Oh yeah, dude. That's one that I'm really excited about.
I didn't know anything about it. I was looking at it.
Marvel's version of Batman.
Yeah, like so from from what I understand, like the whole comic series is this dude who you don't know at all if it's all in his head and he's crazy because his alter ego, his actual like persona, the Moon Knight is elsewhere, but like who he is as a person is in a mental institution. So whenever he becomes Moon Knight, you don't know if he's actually doing those things or if it's all in his head and he's crazy.
Just because when the mission is over, it probably just comes back to him just laying in bed or chilling, right?
Essentially, yeah. Like, or they find him out somewhere and they just bring him back. So it's like, so in the comics, and I'm hoping in this series, you don't know if he's actually doing these things or if it's all, and it's all very, and it's all very like Egyptian, like old Egyptian stuff.
Yeah.
The
so
feel.
To break it down, it's an action series featuring the Marvel character Mark Spector. He was left for dead.
Spector, that's right.
And may or may not be infused with powers from the moon god. He might be crazy. Umbrella Academy's Jeremy Slater signed on as executive producer and showrunner.
Ooh.
Okay. Oscar Isaac emerged as the man to play Mark Spencer.
This guy from Star Wars, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Poe.
Yep.
So yeah, Ethan Hawke also joined the cast as the lead villain. Production is slated to begin soon.
Very cool.
His possible series may have some implications for Blade. So
I can see that.
And then we got Secret Invasion. Nick Fury.
Yeah, there's already Kree, so.
Yep. Yeah, it's basically what we think it will be. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
News broke indicating The Crown's Olivia Colman and Game of Thrones' Emilia Clarke will be joining the cast as both played royalty in other prestige series. Speculation on their parts immediately centered on Skrull Empress Varanki, the main antagonist of the Secret Invasion comic book storyline. Nevertheless, it is unclear who they will play.
Interesting.
So it looks like they're already casting for that one. Let's see here. We also have Ironheart, female version of Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
Armor Wars,
which is like War Machine and Iron Patriot and all that.
According to Kevin Feige, the series will be Tony Stark's worst fears come to life as bad actors get a hold of some Iron Man tech. Only Colonel James Rhodes, aka War Machine, will be in position to stop them.
Cool.
Then that's really it.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
I mean, that's it. Yep, for now.
But that's the next 2 phases, though, right? That's phase 4 and 5, right?
Yeah, it's going into phase 5. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they do 3 phase. I think the plan is 3 phases per major incident. So
you think by phase 6 we see X-Men stuff?
I remember seeing an interview where he said it won't be in phase 4, probably not in 5. He said the earliest you'll see is X-Men is 2024. So that's about phase 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see, it could very much lead into, what was it? X-Men versus the Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
That would be interesting.
See how they use them, that'd be interesting. But yeah. Who knows? Yeah. So, well, JD, I think you got you got stuff to do. I see you looking around.
We're still putting stuff together and all that. So yeah, I had to step away for a minute, but
I don't want
you got a new crib to put together, bro.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Nice.
A lot of work to do, but it's all good.
It'll be worth it.
Yeah, it'll be worth it.
All right. Well, yeah, if you lasted this long, thanks.
Later on, dudes.
Yeah, Blake will be back next week, and we can talk about masks and Corona then.
Yeah, we'll probably talk about tree houses.
Yeah.
Right.